Jonathan, we'll go to you first. What do you think of this whole situation and how it should be handled, frankly?
It's exactly like the Jake Plummer situation. They don't like each other. They've played for each other. One feels he's better. One feels that it's not going to work. And when you look at this, it happens so many times in sports. They want the money, and he sold his house. What else can you do?
It's not necessarily about money. It's about respect. He feels like he was just disrespected by, especially Jeff McDaniels, and there wasn't that. But he feels like, I think he felt a sense of entitlement. Like, I'm your guy. I'm leading this team. He hasn't led them to the playoffs yet. But as history had shown anyone, don't try and send a Broncos quarterback to Tampa Bay. They'll just quit. They'll do Jake Plummer. They already got like 70 quarterbacks down there anyway. They don't want to share the time.
Again, a very reliable news source, the Denver Post reported that 10 NFL teams have called the Denver Broncos and asking about tradability for Jay Cutler. But the paper does still report that the Inside Broncos organization still hopes that Cutler and head coach Josh McDaniels, as you said, can settle their differences and try and work this out because, Nick, again, as you said, Cutler may feel a sense of entitlement, and the team, he's been with that team for his whole career, and he's settled himself in.
Well, what I think is, like, you need to put faith in your quarterback. If you don't put faith in your quarterback, what's going to happen? We put faith in Matt Castle. Look what he did in the steps of Tom Brady. Look what he did. And Jay Cutler coming off of Jake Plummer, he hasn't led into the playoffs, but he's doing what he can. So if they just try to sort of grow him and just try to come to an agreement, it might work out okay. But as you said, a lot of teams want it.
All right, in Matt Castle's case, people started having faith in him after about the third start when he was really chucking the ball. But Jay Cutler, I think it's beyond repair now. I mean, there's just such a void there that I think it can't be overcome.
Where does it go?
It's sad. Well, there's been talks about maybe bringing Brady. I think the leading team to look at here is the Browns because the Browns have the pieces to move. Now, it could be either Brady Quinn that comes over, Derek Anderson, who was a Pro Bowler 2 years ago, but it's just beyond repair, and it's sad to see that in his whole 3-year career. And he actually has. When I looked at some comparative stats to him and John Elway at the first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
They're very similar, except for the one important difference.
Playoffs.
He's about a playoffs. Playoffs.
He's talking about playoffs.
Playoffs, but it's really just a whole god awful mess what's going on over there.
All right, Jonathan, any final words on this matter?
Well, one thing I have to say is about this is about, like, with Jay Cutler, he's a good quarterback, but he hasn't led them to the playoffs, and some people may have doubts with him. If you put his faith in him, you might not know what happens. But you do need, as he said, it's almost beyond repair. This is going to be really tough to get over this whole mess and work out a deal.
All right, well, we can't stay away from this topic, the NCAA tournament. Previously in the show, we talked about the recap. Now we're going to look at going forward. What do you think's going to happen? Any more upsets going to occur going forward in the NCAA tournament? Again, Nick, start with you.
Some games to watch, I think, are Marquette versus Missouri, if you're not following it. Because Marquette, I didn't expect them to go that very far because they had so many injury problems, but they've actually risen above for what most people expected. Missouri, coming out of the very competitive Big Ten conference, would make a really good matchup. So I'm looking at that one mostly.
Again, we've got 2 games in progress right now. We've got number 6 Marquette against number 3 Missouri, as you said, Nick. And we also have number 10 USC against number 2 seed Michigan State on right now.
Also,
I like this game right here. I'm a BC fan, and USC, a lot of people like them, and they beat us. They beat them, Boston College. So, I mean, and number 2 Michigan State, I love them. They're in my Final Four predictions. In my Final Four prediction in USC, Michigan State will beat them, but I think it'll be a close game because this USC is a quality team. Again, they were tied with 10 minutes left and zoomed away from Boston College. So USC will put up a good fight in this game. This is a game I like.
All right, you alluded to it, the Final Four. Nick, who you got right now?
I think it's 4 number 1 seeds, Connecticut, Louisville, Pitt, and UNC, with UNC and Connecticut in the final. Drum roll, please. I got Carolina winning it all. Tyler Hansborough. I think the game to watch in the Final Four would be Pittsburgh versus UNC. Seeing DeJuan Blair and Tyler Hansborough just knocking elbows underneath the net be an absolute grudge match.
Nick, I got the exact same Final Four as you, except for Pitt. I got number 2 seed Duke knocking off Pitt to go to the Final Four. I just think it's going to happen because of Duke's great transition game. They got Kyle Singler. They got John Shear.
Ty Lawson.
Gerald Henderson.
No, Ty Lawson's UNC.
Ty Lawson's UNC.
That's another reason why Carolina's going to win.
Well,
but I do have North Carolina and Connecticut in the championship, and I have UNC also winning the entire thing. Jonathan, we know you have Michigan State in your Final Four. Who else you got in there?
Guys, I agree with you and you almost exactly. UConn, Pitt, UNC, and Michigan State. That's my Final Four. I'm going to take UNC and Pitt in the finals, and I think Pitt's going to win. I think Pitt's going to win.
Well, at least we all have UNC. We can all agree on that point.
Yeah, UNC is incredible. But Pitt, I love DeJuan Blair. I mean, he can get in there. He can, as you said, they do have Tyler Hansborough and Ty Lawson. But I think if Blair can shut them down, and I think if Blair can shut him down, I think Pitt will win.
All right, last second comments. I know it's a little early, but who do you think is going to get Player of the Year?
Colin Wilson. Oh, wait, that's the Hobie Baker from Boston University.
Denver.
No, Boston University.
Denver.
Player of the Year?
Colin Wilson. Oh, Tyler Hansborough.
I took Gerald Henderson from Duke.
All right, I'm going to go with the popular opinion, which is Tyler Hansborough. And now we go over to YSA's own Alex Reamer, the only person who seems to care about the World Baseball Classic. Alex?
Ooh. Boy, a lot of zingers going on over there. I won't zing you back, though. I'm nicer than that. Hey, what's more American than football and apple pie? The Backtalk crew talked a lot of football. Well, I'm talking about World Baseball Classic because, yes, I do care about it, Andrew. And these days, nothing is more American than unmercifully bashing this tournament. Dustin Pedroia and Kevin Youkilis returned to Red Sox camp this week as wounded soldiers. Pedroia had an abdominal strain, and Youkilis had a sore left ankle and mild Achilles tendinitis. First off, let's be real. These guys aren't coming back decapitated. If you listen to everybody else, it seems like they're coming back with broken arms, broken shoulders. It's like they're going into war. No, they're playing baseball. Dustin Pedroia reportedly strained his abdominal by playing long toss. Folks, the long toss that is played between World Baseball Classic teammates is the same long toss played between Red Sox teammates. I'm not a pro, but I'm pretty sure of that. Some reports indicate that Youkilis may have further aggravated his ankle by playing on it this past Tuesday in the USA's walk-off win over Puerto Rico. Now, yes, in spring training, Youkilis would have likely not played while sporting even the slightest injury. But who's to say that nobody ever gets injured during spring training play? Because they do. Julio Lugo did a few weeks ago. The fact is, whether you like it or not, the World Baseball Classic is coming back in 4 years. It's here to stay. Sorry, it's not going away. So can't we just accept it and appreciate the World Baseball Classic for giving us quality baseball games in March, a month where the majority of baseball games feature players wearing football numbers, like a Julius Peppers number, as you guys talked about? So New Englanders, let your hair down. Live a little. Stop being so uptight. The World Baseball Classic is giving us quality baseball games. And at this point, that's why I'm down for liking it. I'm Alex Reamer, wrapping it up here for YSA Sports.
All right, thank you, Alex. Guys, that's all the time we have for today. In the YSA Backtalk studio, I'm Andrew Ramsey alongside Jonathan Bell and Nick Heiler. Good night, everybody.